Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is JustusRStone, and today I am going to be reviewing Volume 2 of the light novel series Black Bullet by Shiden Kanzaki. Now, in this volume, Rentaro Satomi is now sort of the hero of the Tokyo area, having saved it from the level 5 Gastria in volume number 1. And because of his heroics, the Saitenshi, who is the leader of the Tokyo area, decides to appoint him as her bodyguard while she holds talks with a leader from another Tokyo, well, another area, I guess, in Japan. The problem with all of this, though, is that apparently there is now an assassin who is stalking the Saitenshi and is a almost godlike sniper who is able to hit targets from over a kilometer away, posing considerable challenges to Rentaro and to Enju, his initiator, because, of course, they're fairly close-range fighters. So the book is about how they try to overcome this thing and how they try to keep the Saitenshi from getting assassinated, because that will threaten to throw all of Tokyo area into chaos. It's kind of interesting that they switched gears in Volume 2. Now, in Volume 1, of course, everything was about, most of it was about the Gastria. I mean, we learned a little bit about the whole cyber warrior soldier program because of the one sort of villain, but really the Gastria were still the primary focus, and the primary threat was that the Gastria were going to wreck Tokyo area. And in this book, we shift gears, and instead of Gastria being the threat, it is actually human beings who are now the threat. And so it's sort of like in Volume 1, we find out how the Gastria wrecked society, and now we find out how human beings continue to wreck society. It's a good shift, and I think it's pretty cool, and it does give more of an insight to the functionings and politics of the human world. So it isn't just like a Monster of the Week kind of series where, oh, well, we beat this big Gastria last week, now this week we're going to destroy another one. So it keeps it a little bit fresh. I appreciated that the story was a little bit different and that the sort of opponent that they were facing was a little bit different. But Black Bullet. My, how you are all the things that could be great about light novels and all the things that are somewhat questionable. The thing about Black Bullet is that it really wants to be a serious, dark, dystopian type novel, and it is at its best when it is doing those things. When there are action sequences, when we're sort of dealing with the clandestine activities of various individuals, when we're just basically dealing with how society has degraded, being trapped almost in a man-made prison to protect themselves, the book really excels. That's when it is a really good story and is at its best. But for whatever reason, and I don't know if it was because the author decided that it was a little too dark, or he thought that in order to sell it, he had to have a bit more fan servicey type stuff, but we have two different things that happen in this book that just don't seem to fit well. And those are, we have Kisara and Miori, who are sort of the two females that are Rentaro's age, and they're both quite beautiful, of course, and they are both fighting over him, of course. And it leads to constant bickering about breast sizes, and Rentaro, who generally is like this guy, he's a decent guy, but he's definitely angsty because, well, I mean, why not? When you get his backstory, he's had a pretty crap life, so it makes sense. But when these girls start fighting over him, he's like a bit of a clueless idiot and gets all flustered and everything else, and it just doesn't quite seem to fit with the character, and the tone of those fights just, it seems a little too ludicrous and too removed from the rest of the world that's being created. And of course, the other thing that is, wow, ick factor of, well, I guess it depends on who you are, but it's kind of an ick factor for me, definitely, is the whole lolly harem, which is, a bunch of 10-year-olds who really think Rentaro is all that. And I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if it was like he just thought it was kind of cute, but, wow, no. But like he seems a little sometimes creepy open to the idea, like, oh, they're kind of cute, they're gonna be a woman soon. Oh, no, it just, no. I mean, it's totally fine, like, Enju's character and how she idolizes Rentaru and how she loves him and, intends that she will marry him. I mean, it's cute, and it's something that, a 10-year-old who's had, like, her whole life been destroyed basically from the moment she was born, I can get where she would latch on and sort of project those feelings onto this, like I said, really decent guy who's basically saved her from all of that. And so I get that, and that's totally fine. It is his responses to her that just make it a little creepy. Like, yeah, creepy, icky. So that's the problem with Black Bullet. It's almost like we want to have this romantic comedy sort of three-way competing thing, but it just doesn't work with the world and the characters, and it just makes the book feel a little off in places. Like, you're just sort of sitting there going, yeah, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. What? And then it gets cool again. So, Black Bullet, like, I'm going to have to say, like, overall, I like the story. Like, overall, when we're dealing with just the sort of main story and the action components, I think it's a pretty cool story. It's just if we could just get away from trying to insert 2 or 3 other genres of light novel / anime / manga into this story, it would be so much better and would sort of be a lot more cohesive. So those are my thoughts on Volume 2 of Black Bullet. Hit the like button if you enjoy this and you want to see more reviews of the future volumes of Black Bullet. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. And then next week I will be back with my discussion on the light novel The Rising of the Shield Hero Volume Number 2. It's been a while since I read Volume 1 and I really, really like that. Volume 1 really surprised me, so I'm looking forward to checking out Volume 2. So I hope you'll join me next week for that review. Thanks very much for watching. Until then, bye-bye for now.